Welcome to my channel again. For this video, I will be guiding you to how to learn the electronics in the right. I'm gonna tell the cons and pros in learning electronics and so many and the difficulties while learning it. So let's get started. So the first thing that I would like to start is, if you're a beginner in electronics and you are trying to experiment with high voltage, don't ever go into that path, because if you are a beginner and you are trying to go with high voltage, that won't be a match for you. At least you have to have like half a year of experience in order to experiment with flybacks and ZVS circuits. And so let's talk about the difficulties in learning electronics. So the difficulties that you might get to learning electronics is, your parents might say it's useless, your relative might say it's useless, but if you know what you're doing, you don't have to listen to them and you can keep doing whatever you are doing. And my mom tells me to learn electronics after I get graduated and stuff. And what I thought is, if you graduate and start learning electronics, your curiosity will be gone, you will lose totally all the interest. So that's why I didn't listen to them and I just keep learning. And I have scaled my electronic skills from motors to ESCs to ZVS and flybacks, LEDs and capacitors, and so many things. I cannot list them all out in a one video, that will be too boring. So let's tell about the pros in learning electronics. So if you learn electronics, that's you learning at the age of 13 to 18, that is the best time to learn it. Because because at 13 to 18 you will be filled with curiosity and my curious minds and stuff, and you will always have interest when learning about it. Like, you will ask yourself why it works or why does it works, and that will be great. And if you're learning it in the right way and you have made a foundation for your future, that will be excellent. That, like, if you're going electronic engineer's path and you're learning about it, most people will struggle to learn it at first, but you have learned it in the age of 13 to 14, so you'll be always ahead of the curve. So now let's talk about the cons while learning about electronics. So the cons will be like, you might get scared by blowing up MOSFET and capacitors. No, that will be not the cons, because if you blow up capacitors and MOSFETs, that is experiment and not failures, and that will be steps for your success. And the cons will be like, if you're learning electronics in the worst way, like you never know what your circuit does and why does it work and why it doesn't work, and you were just copying YouTube channels to make circuits, then you are doomed. You should never learn electronics in that way. You can learn about electronics, like what does the components do, and why the components break and why the components give efficient. You have to learn about the components before making circuits. Like, if you jump straight into making circuits, that's like learning algebra without knowing the basic plus and minus. So that will be the cons of learning electronics. And if you are learning it in the blind way and you are not applying to your future at all, and if you're dropping out of school or college in order to learn it, then that won't be a very good news for you. Like, if you drop out of school and your parents might totally not support you or do anything to make you learn about it, and those are the cons in learning electronics. So those are the difficulties in learning electronics. And if you ever get shocked while while experimenting electronics, and if you're a beginner, don't experiment with the mains. That's the worst thing that you can do to kill yourself. Start experimenting with batteries, and if you're learning electronics, never buy those small HW bat 9-volt batteries. They have less power, they will cost extra money, and if you're experimenting with electronics constantly, you can't buy every so many HW batteries. So the best option is to buy lithium ion batteries, 3.7 lithium ion batteries, and a charger to recharge it, because they have lots of capacity, and they can give a lot of they can give 5 amps of current constant. Then that will be the best thing that you can do. Yeah, never buy those alkali batteries when you're learning electronics. That's my best tip, well, if you're learning about it. And if you have a good community, if you have a good support, if you while learning electronics, then congratulations, you will have absolutely no problems in learning electronics. If you have a good supporters while you learn about it, and that will be very good. And that's it. So if you're going in an electronics engineer site, make sure to make a good foundation at the age of 13 to 16. And those are the tips and cons and pros while learning about electronics. Thank you guys for watching the video. See you later. In my next video, I'll be making a Tesla coil, and I'll be showing you guys that. So if you want a SSTC driven Tesla coil or a SGTC Tesla coil, drop it in the comment sections. So thank you, bye.